it's Emily Talerman here, and today we're going to be talking about how to negate a policy resolution. Now, there are two ways that you can negate a policy resolution. Number one, you can come up with a counter policy, and number two, you can just use your contentions and explain why the AF's policy is no good. Now, if you decide to come up with a counter policy, you can do it in two ways. You can achieve the same goals as the AF's policy, but do it differently, or you can take it in a completely different direction. For example, with the resolution, the US federal government should increase funding for public transportation. Say the AF does that by taking 1% of the military budget and does this by 2025. If you were making a counter policy, you could do the same thing, but differently. So instead of having the US federal government do it, you could have each state government do it. And instead of funding it through 1% of the military budget, you could fund it through taxes on people who own cars, for example. That's one way you can negate a policy, by coming up with a counter policy that achieves the same goal but does it differently. Now, the other way you can do it is take your counter policy and go in a completely different direction. So your counter policy in this case could be, instead of increasing funding for public transportation, you could increase funding for more, what are they called? Carpool lanes, yes. Or you could increase funding for research on more sustainable vehicles. That would be taking it in a different direction, while kind of still keeping in the theme of improving the environment, a theme provided by the original resolution. Now, this is a very quick video just to explain your two options on how to negate a policy resolution. As always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask me, or another experienced debater, or Mr. Allen, of course, and I will see you all out there on the debate field.